What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much. This is another episode of Living Your Purpose. We do appreciate everybody that's on the chat for sticking around and being with us and loving and supporting us. My name is SJ from Inner Soul Development. I'm a personal life coach and transformational speaker. What I do is I get you off your autopilot, take you off course to your greatest self. I make sure that you understand that life is to be controlled and that life does not and should not control you. So I have on my left my wonderful, beautiful co-host.
Hey everybody, I am Danielle K. Anderson, also known as Danielle the VP. I am an entrepreneur, interfaith minister, spiritual counselor, life coach, speaker, and it is my purpose to help people to find and walk in their own purpose. And I'm so glad that you have joined us this evening. If you are watching on the replay on YouTube, listening on SoundCloud, we want to take a minute to acknowledge you guys. We appreciate you so much. For those of you who are watching the replay on Blab and missed the recording, we had some fun. We had some interesting things happen. So our normal followers, sorry again, but we're here for you as always. Today we are talking about procrastination.
Yes.
It's such an important topic when living your purpose or when you're doing anything. I think we're all guilty of it to some degree or another. I think I might be more expert level procrastinator than than most people that I know, and
Right.
just being transparent. But I get things done. Let's not, I don't just not do stuff. I think for me, I find that I work better under pressure. Like when I know that I have like this much time, I get it done and I do it well. But that's no excuse really. So here's the thing, that it's dangerous to become when you procrastinate, because the more you do it, the more stuff tends to pile up. You get more overwhelmed. You start stressing out. Your body starts telling you things that you don't want to hear. And you get uncomfortable. You can get really sick. You can get tired. You can fall into depression. You can have mood swings. You end up not, now you're under the gun to get everything done all at once. And it feels like you have so much going on. So that's why procrastination it's definitely not the best thing to do.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be more transparent. Just before we came on air, I was telling SJ, usually on Sundays before I do this, I go on Periscope and I do my makeup and get all prepped and everything. My hair was in braids and all wrapped up. I didn't have anywhere near as much time as I ought to have, because I was thinking about all the stuff that I had to do today, the stuff that I did yesterday, and how much of it I didn't get done. And it came down to 15 minutes to air, and I'm doing all of this like I normally do. And I'm usually better prepared, meaning I usually know that I only have about 5 or 10 to 15 minutes before showtime, and all I have to do is my makeup. But I have to do my hair, I have to change my clothes, I have to do my makeup, and all of this. There's Xanadu. Hey, girl, how you doing? Glad to see you. And then I looked up. I'm taking my hair out and doing all this fancy pinning. And I look, it's 6 o'clock. Holy crap! Okay, record.
Right. Yeah. No, it's like that. It gets like that. Yes.
Yeah, it is like that sometimes, and it's just me being honest that we all do it. We all procrastinate, but there are on the bigger things I've learned ways to prevent the stress that comes with procrastination. So this evening I want to talk about that and discuss some of the ways that we can get past that and grow from that. What about you, SJ? You want to talk a little bit about your procrastination experience?
Yes. I think the reason why, and for myself, had a problem at one point with I was very holding things and letting things stack up, is because I doubted myself, and most of my goals that I had never had a deadline. Never had a deadline. So what I was doing, I was just saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. And I never gave each one of those goals any deadline. So it was just like more and more stuff that I wanted to do that was incomplete.
Right.
Everything was incomplete, and I was just tired of that incompleteness because it showed that I was doubting myself. So now I'm having a deadline when it comes to how much I want to make for each project, what time frame. So I'm kind of trying to do that so that the procrastination won't be as, I mean, there's going to be challenges in life, but being that we have the power of choice, we can be able to make sure that what is priority, right? And
Mm-hmm.
what is not priority can like be taken care of but still be done. So I think if now that I have goals that have deadlines, it's more, I'm less I'm less procrastinating. So
Right. Okay. So that brings me to my point. One good way to avoid procrastination is have solid time frames for the things that you need to get done. Now,
right.
that sometimes is a crutch in procrastination. When you say, I have this thing, I need to have it done by next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing it till Thursday night, because like, oh,
Right.
I got time, I got time. And this is one of those things that I fall victim to. So, one way that I have found to avoid that is, even though I have a set deadline where I must, drop dead, cannot not have it at this time,
Right.
I will set myself a separate deadline ahead of that time
Mm-hmm.
to get that thing done. So if I have something that's due next Friday, I want to have it done. My personal drop dead date is Wednesday before. If you schedule your stuff ahead of time, then you have a little bit more of a sense of urgency about it, and you can feel that pressure. But then if it doesn't get all the way done, or you want to tweak it a little bit, perfect it, some whatever, you still have those days, that time before, to have it done. And if it's something that you need to get done today, for instance, on your daily goals or your to-do list, whatever it is that you have, say, I need to have all of this done before I go to bed tonight. Okay, that's cool. But what if you had it done before 6? You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And
Right.
and then you can, create your timelines and your action steps within that time frame. And then you have the little extra time to catch up on something that you might have missed, or something like that. So that's one good way. Definitely write everything not everything down, because if I wrote every single thing down that I had to do, I would write all day long and never get anything done. Okay.
Right. Right.
So, because that's me personally, because I am such a multifaceted person with many
Mm-hmm.
different responsibilities and obligations and organizations and children and work and you know clients and all of these things, and I care very much about all of these things. Make sure that things are written down clearly so that you know what you have to do. That list can get overwhelming a lot of times. What I've recently learned to do, instead of when you're checking off your list and just crossing it out of your to-dos, is to have a separate list. You have your things that you have to do, and then you have a separate list of things that you did. Okay? So what I call this is proof of productivity. Okay? Procrastination can be fought by having proof of productivity. When people feel good when they check off lists, right? So you see, okay, I don't have this to do, I don't have this to do, I only have that left. But when you see, oh wow, I did this, I did that, I did all of these things, the more productive you are that you can see, the more encouraged you are to continue, because it feels good to see that you've done things. So I would say have two lists, have a to-do list, and then have a done list. So
Yeah.
you have to buy proof of productivity. You know what they're gonna do? You can have it. Just make sure you hashtag or tag me in something. Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So yeah, procrastination
Guys.
is fought by proof
Mm-hmm.
of productivity. So give yourself something to show for all of the things that you're doing, because I sometimes, you feel like you've done stuff all day. Like for instance, a lazy Saturday for me means cleaning my entire house top to bottom, making phone calls and stuff like that. And I don't feel like I've done much of anything, because maybe I clean the house, but I still have laundry over there in the corner that needs to be sorted or folded or whatever. And then I just look at it and say, gosh, man, I'm so tired and I don't even feel like doing it. But what have I done today? So if you write down the things that you have done, then you can encourage yourself to do more, and you can actually relax a little bit when things start to pile up. Okay.
Absolutely. But
So
guys,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
please, guys, if you can, and you're just jumping in, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a flock of people so that we can get people up in here.
Yes,
So
please.
yes, definitely. Thank you so much. That was just a little small disclaimer.
Little plug there.
Yeah,
Let me help
yeah.
you out. If you're just joining us, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Do us a favor. This is a topic that needs to be shared. A lot of us have this issue of procrastination. Share it on Twitter, post it on Facebook, share where all the sharing is done. Send a message, send a tweet, send a text, do something. Okay.
Right, right.
um, but thank you guys for joining us live. We really do appreciate you. You know what we should do real quick? We need to
What?
advertise a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
So if you are new to living your purpose, you can find us all over the web. The best way to do that is to simply go to our website, lypshow.com. There, usually you can find us, the live broadcast. We had some technical difficulties, so that is actually not a thing
Right.
tonight, but I'll fix it. No worries. I'll fix it tomorrow, and you can see the replay of this broadcast. Then when you go and click connect, you can find all of our social media outlets. We have Twitter, we have SoundCloud, we have YouTube, we have Facebook, we're on Google Plus and Periscope. So you can follow us there, and then there's also a contact form where you can send us a direct email right from the site. We'd love to have guests come and tell their stories. We love
Mm-hmm.
to answer questions. We love to speak, and
Right.
we love to encourage people. So if you want to have myself, SJ, or both of us to speak at an event or a group of students or employees or whatever, we can do that. Just send us an email and we will definitely get back to you. The best way to contact us, like ASAP, immediately, or as quickly as possible, would be to tweet us at LYP Broadcast and use the hashtag LYP Topics. And that's the best way to get our attention, basically, so that
Right,
we can
right,
help
right.
you out. So again, tonight we're talking about procrastination. So the reasons why we procrastinate, the dangers of procrastination, and how to fix it. So
Right. And with procrastination creeps up on you.
yeah.
And sometimes you can carry procrastination without even knowing it because it becomes part of your routine. So that's a danger when when you no longer trust yourself, and when you procrastinate, you also become overcautious. There's another thing. If you want to get into any type of, doesn't matter, your goals, your life objective, even living your purpose, sometimes if you want to get into something, sometimes we over educate ourselves, and that shows procrastination too. So education is great, but when you overdo it or try to make sure that you have everything aligned, nothing's ever going to be right. Timing will never be right. So it's important that is also too part of procrastination.
Right. So the question I ask sometimes is, if not now, then when? And if not you, then
Mm-hmm.
who? It's gonna be, hey, Ken's here, good to see you. Um, so yeah, I think a lot of the reasons why I have found myself procrastinating is because of fear or uncertainty. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example at my regular job. um it was time for reviews, to see everybody's getting a raise, but we just want to see how much we're going to give you. The way that they had
Right.
done it in previous years was there's a form, you fill it out, your supervisor fills it out, you make your comments, whatever, turn it in, and they evaluate it. This year they decided they wanted us to submit our own review. Just say your thing just talk about you and send it in. Well, a lot of times people say it's easy to talk about you. You already know everything about you. That to me is garbage. It's hardest to do, to talk about yourself, because you don't know what to share, what not to share, what could be good information, what necessarily
Mm-hmm.
isn't. Well, that's been a problem for me. And I will be perfectly honest with you, I'm not the best writer. I When I do, it's coherent and you can understand it, but it takes a lot to get thoughts from here on a page. So I freaked out. I had legitimate panic attacks, and I didn't do it. I just said, I don't want to. I don't want to do it. I had to talk with my supervisor. I was like, I'm having trouble. I need help with this. Um, I can't. I don't want to. But it was like the day of the thing that it was due. So
Wow.
right. And, not the best move, but that's a lesson learned. Don't do that. You could have said that on Tuesday when you got the assignment. Plus, that's another thing. They didn't give us a lot of time. But when I got the assignment, I could have come to her and said, listen, this is going to be an issue for me. I need some help. Do you have some guidance for it? Instead of waiting until the day of the thing, and which was a Friday. And then we had our review on Monday. Not the best thing. I could have saved myself a lot of issues, a lot of stress, if I had just went ahead and addressed it immediately. So that's one. And again, it's because I was scared. I didn't know how to do it. And I also had, work to do. So I was like justifying
Right.
not doing it by having to deal with all these piles of work that has been assigned to me. So that's one thing. Just do it. Just start it. If you're fearful about something, if you're nervous about something, if you have somebody, who's in charge of you or over you, a supervisor, manager, boss, spouse, whatever, partner, business partner, if you have an issue, address it immediately.
Right.
And get some help. If it's okay if you need help with something, say it though. Don't
Right.
don't say it. And Xanadu just said, I tend to justify not doing something by saying I'll do it later. We all do that.
We
We
do all do
all
that. Yeah.
do that. I
We
do
do
that
that. Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah.
But then again, when is later? When is now? Well, if you want to get all existential, time is a relative thing. So you have to do it. It's got to get
Right.
done at some point. So why not do it right now? You know?
I think a lot of times is that when you have uncertain goals, or you have something that you need to get done, I think that a lot of the goals become non-motivating. Like
Mm-hmm.
after a while, you don't have any steam behind that particular goal. So when you don't have the steam behind it, then it will eventually be the number one way to procrastinate. You'll justify your alibis, you'll defend your weaknesses, and then all of a sudden it will never get done. You have to have motivation. You got to be able to know that this has to be done. It's not a should, it's a must,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to do it. If you don't have motivation behind whatever it is that you're doing, you're not going to do it.
Right.
You're not going to do it. I don't care how many other goals you want to do. Pick a seed, water that seed correctly, as it should be, and then you will receive the fruit of that tree.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do not have any type of motivation behind that, or not inspired anymore, you're not going to do it.
Right.
So what I try to do is, every project that I have, even though I have a lot, I try to put as much energy as I can in each one, because otherwise it's going to fall to the wayside. And then the universe is going to be like, I gave you something to do. You said you wanted this, but you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore it becomes a regret. And I don't want to regret anything.
Amen.
You know
So
what I mean?
that brings me to my next point, which is prioritization. A lot of times we procrastinate on things because we don't give it a higher priority. Sometimes the things that we don't want to do the most are the things that we put at the bottom of the list. Okay, like I'm going to get the easy stuff done and then this happens. Well, why don't you get the more difficult or challenging thing done first? Try putting that at the top of your priority list, or at least if you can't do the whole thing, work on it. Make this, break it up into parts. Make, part one, priority one, and then, you can do some other stuff. Make part two of that thing next on the list, and that way it doesn't seem as daunting, that task, the most difficult of your tasks for the day, the week, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Here's another thing about prioritization that I learned some time ago. When you make your lists, a lot of us, we tend to number our lists 1, 2, 3 by order of importance. Once you're done with one, Don't cross off one and then move on to number two. Now you have to, like I said before, when you have your to-do list and you have your done list. Once you take that thing number one off of your to-do list, now it's on your done list. Number two becomes number one. It's the most important thing that you have to do. If you prioritize like this, not A, B, C, D, it's A, 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 right? So once you're done with one thing, the next thing is the highest priority. So instead of thinking in order of importance, it's all important. But once one thing is done, then that next thing is the most important thing. Get it done. Do what you have to do. And once you're done with it, again, take it off of your to-do list, put it on your done list so that you can see your proof of productivity that you're actually working towards something.
And I think it's very cool that, as Fran says, that is one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes when we have something, we have a bunch of incompletes. To eradicate incompletes, take one, water it properly, get it done, and then you can go on to number two. But make sure that you exhausted all your energy on that one seed, so that you'll have your fruits of your labor. Because sometimes we can have 2, 3, 4, 5, all of them going to be incomplete, because everything can't be watered properly or taken care of properly if you have a bunch of seeds all in the fertile, in your ground, or you're in your mind. So you want to try to take one at a time and make sure that you do as much as you can with the one that you focus on the most. Like, focus on one at a time.
Right. And here's another thing. It's again, like, I'm always the one that promotes multitasking and having a lot of things, because I do that. I juggle a lot of balls at a time. But you know what? Sometimes I drop some of those balls and I'm still juggling. Sometimes, you drop the ball, and it's understandable if that happens. But don't forget that you dropped it. Still keep it in your sight, because you're going to have to go and get it. Some of mine are very expensive, so I can't just let them sit there for somebody else to pick up and run with, right? So it's okay. Let me keep using the juggling analogy. It's really cool to see a juggler juggle 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. You know what's even more cool? Seeing 2 of them juggling back and forth, right? Like I said, if you need help, ask for help. If you have a partner, utilize that partner. If you need to call in somebody, then do that. That's absolutely okay, to help you prioritize and take some of those things off of your list. Lift up some of that burden. Hello, Matthew. I see you. Welcome to Living Your Purpose. And another thing is, if you don't have that, or as many people, or the resources available to you to get the help, it is okay to put something aside for a time. Okay. It is okay to do that. And sometimes it's actually necessary to do that.
Right. I think that, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's absolutely necessary to do that. So, because when you have a lot going on, you get overwhelmed, especially when you're trying to attack all of those things at one time. If I have 5 projects, I'm trying to work on all 5 projects in one day, I'm going to get burnt out every single day.
Absolutely.
So how about Monday I work on this, Tuesday I work on this, Thursday, you know what I'm saying? And take a break. It's okay to just get rid of all of it, all of the work, and not just spend some time away from it. Take some time to breathe so that you don't get overwhelmed. My coworkers last week, they called me out on my stuff. You know what I'm saying? They said, "Are you okay? Are you all right? You look a little tired." Honestly, I was broken. Like, my body hurt really bad. I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel tired, but my body was telling me some things that I needed to know.
Right.
So,
I mean, you got to understand this, guys, is that you got to understand that your goals should always be something not like a chore. This is not a chore. It's something that you love to do, something that you want to do, something that motivates you. So when you do it, when we're talking about a to-do list, you got to understand that these are things that we all love to do. So don't make it where it's a chore or it's a hassle or it's an issue. don't, or you stressed out about it, then you know what? Then you're definitely going to procrastinate because once again, you're not motivated. So when you do the to-do list, just make sure that you get each one of them done. Take a seat at a time, but also join somebody who may feel and see your vision more than you do. That's why they call these different things masterminds. If you have a mastermind, which is two or more people or one person that feels your vision and pushes you ahead toward that life objective or your life purpose, then use them and utilize them, and you could be able to help each other out as far as getting that vision done.
You're absolutely right. So, does anybody have any questions?
Right.
Any questions for myself, SJ? You want to share your stories or your experience of procrastination? English words.
Right.
Okay. Or have any questions about how to overcome procrastination?
Right.
That is what we're here for. And if
Right.
not, then we have a quick show.
Yeah. Like I said, the love seat is available, guys.
Yes, this is our love seat.
The
Come
love
in,
seat is
enjoy.
available.
We are here to love on you. And, this is a conversation, not just a presentation. You are welcome here, except for trolls. We don't feed trolls. Thank you.
Yes, trolls.
So
But
I
we
apologize
don't.
for anybody who might have seen my eyes go a little funny and zoned out.
Right.
Santa, dude, nobody, girl, ain't nobody. Wait, smoking what?
A cigarette?
Okay. I don't mind you smoking a cigarette on air.
Yes, come on
Cigarettes
in
are
if you want to come on in. Friends, if you want to come in. Thank you, Mercy. Okay, Xanadu's on air.
Yeah. I'm glad when she comes on when we're recording, it's beautiful.
Yes.
It's so rare. I feel blessed.
Bring
we
her
can
in.
Get her face. Come on, girl. Come on. There she is.
There we go.
Hey, girl. How
I
you
think
doing?
it's my internet.
Welcome.
Hold on. Let me try again. Can y'all hear me?
You're
can hear
ghosting
you.
now.
Now you're ghosting.
Try it again.
Fran says writing it down a list is so important, but what do you think about getting rid of things you don't need to be doing?
Do it. If you don't need to do it, get rid of it. Why are you doing it? If it's not necessary and it's not like benefiting you in any way, like it's okay to be helpful to people. This is where I find a lot of people get bogged down and upset and create an excuse for procrastination. Oh, I have to help this person do this. I have to take so-and-so over here. Do you really have to? Or is it something that you want to do? Is it something that you always do? Or is it something that you chose to do for the day to help somebody out? It's okay to help people. It's okay to do things that you don't necessarily build your bottom line. As long as your time isn't full of that type of thing, then let it go. Let it go. If it's taking up too much of your time and you're not being productive in your goals, then do it. Hey, okay, we're back. Hey, Xanadu, say words so we can test your hearing.
Oh, no.
No, now we can't hear you. You were fine and you left.
You were fine at one point. You was fine at one point.
Breathe it out. You can do it. You can do this.
That's the procrastination.
That blab is procrastination.
Definitely try again. Another thing
internet is procrastinating. Helping people can sometimes be a source of poverty because emotionally people are always trying to prove real friendship. This is absolutely true.
Yeah.
This is absolutely true. And I'm going to tell you this right now, for anybody who may be watching this and says, well, I'm not a good friend because, my friends need me, so I have to help them. I have to do this and I have to do that. A real friend will take no and understand.
Right.
A real friend would respect your time.
Right.
A good friend. Let me put it this way. A good friend will respect that you have things that have to take priority. Your life has to take priority over everyone else's.
Right. Because remember, when you're living in your purpose, that's your journey. It's not your friend's journey. It's not your sister's journey. Not your mother's journey. It's your journey that you have to do alone on your own. And as you're going through that, you're going to receive challenges, but your friends should always understand that you have things you have to do in order for you to grow. Because, I mean, how can you even help your friend out if you haven't, or if you have uncertain goals, like you're not certain about certain things? So you always want to make sure that you're good first before anything else, because once again, it's your own journey that you have to live with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're talking about monetary things, yeah, it can be that way. You have to make sure that you are taken care of. Make sure your bills are paid. Make sure your belly is full. And look, let me explain this. If a friend of mine is hungry and I have food, I'm going to feed them. If I don't have food, but I have money for my friend to get food, and I know that I get paid in 2 days, I'll be okay.
Right.
I need to make sure that my friend is eating. My friend has kids. They need to make sure that they're eating. It's okay to give of your money, of your time, and all of that if you're doing it with the right heart, but you don't need to prove yourself to anybody. You should not have to prove yourself to anybody. As long as you are living your purpose the way you want to, prioritize yourself first. Because if you're no good to yourself, you're no good to anybody else.
Right.
And that means financially, physically, spiritually, time, all of it.
That's true.
All right, Xanadu, let's try this one more again. Say words.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me? You can?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, this is a good topic as usual. Y'all always have good topics. Please ignore this zit I have going on. It's talking to the people.
It's fine.
Nobody was worried about it till you said something.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking for it.
Well, I'll
Yeah,
just talk.
exactly.
Anyway, this is what I wanted to ask y'all about the procrastination.
Okay.
I know that you are both also very spiritual people, and I consider myself pretty spiritual too on a serious level. But do you think that sometimes when we procrastinate, that could be our? Now, I don't mean like like activities or projects, but I mean sometimes when you have like a big life situation, do you think that procrastination could be intuition, or you know what I'm saying, as to whether or not you should move? How do you tell the difference?
I tell you what the difference is. With in a spiritual sense, your body will tell you. You'll know. So I don't know. Express those things. Say it out loud. Say it to whomever you speak to. Your higher power, with your inner self, whatever. Hash that out. Why do you think I'm not? Because if you say I don't know about that, it could be because you're afraid of something, or it could be a genuine concern. Some people are afraid of progress because they are afraid of not living up to an expectation or responsibility or something like that.
Right. Because if you think about it, I don't want to cut you. I want to just add to what you were saying. When you talk about spirituality, and okay, say for instance your inner self, or say for instance your human spirit, your spirit's always is always seeking to express itself, so it's always want to move forward. Procrastination is kind of like moving backwards or being stagnant to make that next step. So you can know the difference if you're procrastinating toward your life objective where you don't want to make that next step, then you know it's not your spirit. It's something within yourself, your conditioning, that's telling you to stop, stay right there because you're scared or nervous or fearful. But once again, when it comes to your human spirit or your spiritual self, it's always seeking expression to move forward, to bring you forward, to grow. So there's a difference, So when you listen to your inner voice, if you can get it there, and let the universe know, I want to take this next step. Because sometimes we put procrastination in our routine. So it don't seem like procrastination because it's part of our routine. We just do it because it's just something that we do. But now in order for us to change our mindset, we need to actually change our routine. Let's stop procrastinating. Let's get this done.
Right. Because if it's an action that you must take, if it's an action that you have to take in order to succeed in whatever it is that you have going on, you procrastinate on it because of whatever reason, because I don't feel like it, I want to do this over here, this feels better, or you get distracted by other things. But I don't think procrastination is necessarily the same as your intuition. Your intuition will tell you, no, don't do it. Your intuition will say, get more information and figure it
Right.
out. Intuition
Right.
isn't going to tell you not to do something. Intuition is going to tell you either go do it or don't.
Right on.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay. I
Yeah.
can dig that.
So
Okay.
right, because sometimes, like I was saying, that because it's such a part of our DNA. Sometimes procrastination is just part of us, and we don't even realize it. Right. Sometimes we justify our weaknesses, or we even like I said, we defend our alibis. Like this is just part of us. So we have to change that whole structure.
Yeah.
We have to change our whole structure and move forward. Now, like I said, procrastination is hard because we've been doing it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard.
Friends just said people put procrastination into their routine. They make it a part of their routine.
It's part,
And again,
yeah.
I'm guilty of it. And that, I'm really adamant about my calendar. I'm always putting things in my calendar. If I could reach it, I would, without going off camera, I'd show you what this week looked like. It was ridiculous. But because I have my calendar, like I said earlier, I use my dates and my times as a crutch to say, because I have meetings, I have to be certain places at certain times. I can't really adjust that, but I have certain projects that need to be done at a certain day and a certain time. And I say, okay, well, that doesn't have to be done till Wednesday. So I'll wait till Wednesday morning or Tuesday night to do it, instead of saying, let me take care of this, make sure this is done on Monday.
Yeah.
Right. And if there's anything that I need to follow up or finish or perfect, then I can do that on Tuesday.
Right.
So
Right. I
yes,
think
calendars and planners do help, but they help you to schedule, to be more organized. Absolutely. But a really good, like a professional procrastinator like myself, will use that calendar as the crutch. That is going to be how I procrastinate. So I have a book to write. Okay, you guys.
but listen, to be honest with you, I know somebody. I'll tell you a story. I know somebody who is not a life coach, but he does something very important, right? And he has so many goals. I mean, I've seen this guy have so many things that he said he's doing, from every day is something, and it's good. It's really good. I'm like, yo, that's good. The following year, I asked him, has any of them been in fruition? And he still says, I'm still working on it. So I'm like, okay, you got all these goals and all these things written down of what you're going to do, and everything that you're doing is incomplete. You have done nothing. So right. I don't want to be like that. See, when I look at that, I don't want to be like that. I want to make sure that everything that I do is complete.
Right.
Because I couldn't believe it. Like, he had a whole month in his calendar of everything that he wants to do. And next year is going to be done. And I told him what he's got going on. He's saying the same stuff. So at what point do you say, I really need to start working on these things?
See, because there's a difference between a goal and a plan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true too.
This is one of the Danielleisms. If it's in your head, it's an idea. You write it down, it's a goal. And, after you have your goal written down, now you need to make a plan and take action on it. Okay? Because it's great to have dreams. It's great to have vision. It's great to have aspirations. Those are necessary in order for you to do the things and accomplish what it is that you want to get done. But if they stay that, where are you? You have to now make plan, have smaller goals to make smaller goals, have tasks, complete them so that you can actually achieve these goals. Do you know what I'm saying? President Kennedy said, we're going to have somebody in space. We're going to have somebody on the moon. In a certain time. And he didn't just say it and hope that it was going to come true. They created the programs for these things to be able to be accomplished. They trained the people, they tested, they had the scientists working on it. This is, and then they did it. That's how it works. You don't just say it and it happens. You say it, you work on it, and you make it happen. Procrastination, you're not going to get anything done.
Right. I think procrastination also tells you sometimes to write it down. Yeah, just write it down, and that's it.
Yep.
And as sometimes our programming is so funny. I swear. Sometimes, seriously, we write it down. We'll read the books. We'll read the seminars. We'll buy info crack. We will buy what we need. No, we will. We will buy whatever it is because we know what we need to do, but we never get it accomplished. So we need to work on moving.
Right.
So that's what is very important, to move.
Absolutely. You have to have absolutely clear goals. My vision board fell down. I had to pick that up. Sorry. While we're talking about goals, I don't know if that's a sign or what.
Oh, vision boards are good too. But,
vision boards are great, but vision boards are great because it helps you to stay focused on what it is that your goals actually are. And I was just looking at one of them, and I got one of them done already.
Holla.
So that's great.
Woo!
Hey. Okay, little celebrations for me. But
thank you so much for joining, people.
There was a comment I just wanted to say. I know finance motivation is not about random action all over the place. You have to have a particular goal. Absolutely right.
Right.
Absolutely right.
And I believe that a goal has to have a deadline, guys. A goal has to have a deadline. So you can have a bunch of goals, but it has to have a deadline. Because if it doesn't, then exactly. If you don't have a deadline to any of the goals that you have, then you'll never be able to grow and move toward what you need to move toward too.
Absolutely. Yeah, okay. I know, fine. Hang on one second, because you're saying good stuff, but I can't see you. I know finance. Do you mind coming up on camera?
Come in. I know finance.
It'll be easier for us to have the conversation because you don't have a camera. Oh no! How are you watching us? Just curious. On what type of device? Are you on a computer? On a computer screen?
I don't have okay.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you.
Do you want to reintroduce ourselves?
Yes, let's. We've had some more people come in the room. No, don't shut up. Say more. We want your input. That's what we're here for. This is a conversation, not a presentation. Okay, so keep on going. I just, when you're on screen, it's easier to say the things. That's all. But please do feel free to keep on commenting. This is good stuff. So, allow us to reintroduce ourselves. For those of you who are just joining, my name is Danielle K. Anderson, also known as Danielle the VP. I am an entrepreneur, interfaith minister, spiritual counselor, life coach, and a speaker. And it is my purpose. I had to kind of wait, what am I today? Okay. I had to. It is my purpose to help people to look good, feel good, find and walk in their own purpose. And today we're talking about procrastination with our very own co-host,
SJ from Inner Soul Development. That's right, SJ from Inner Soul Development. I'm a personal life coach and transformational speaker. What I do is I take you off your autopilot, your routine, take you off course to your greater self, let you know that life is supposed to be controlled and viewed and amazing, and it's not supposed to control you, okay? So we're talking about procrastination. We do have a love seat. So if you want to come into the love seat to be able to explain how you're transparent with how you deal with procrastination, then you could definitely jump into the love seat. We would love to hear your feedback and your thoughts, okay? Make sure you follow us everywhere. LYP Broadcast everywhere. SoundCloud, Twitter, we're everywhere because this is needed everywhere. This is positive TV, guys. So definitely come in and enjoy the show. Every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Very good, SJ. You're getting great at that. All right. So if you want to learn more about myself, about SJ, follow us all over the social media. Today, I am under the handle of Living Your Purpose, but it is usually at Danielle the VP. You can find Living Your Purpose on the web at lypshow.com. On a typical Sunday, you can watch this broadcast live on Living Your Purpose. We had some technical difficulties. We're going to fix that. But we do have our archives available on SoundCloud and YouTube, as SJ did say. We are on Periscope. We are on Twitter. We have a Facebook community. What else? Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube, Google+. We're on there too.
Yes. Absolutely.
Right. And so we also do have the email link in our connect page. So if you go to lypshow.com, click connect, you will be able to contact us through email. You can ask us questions, share your story. We love telling stories. We love helping people to share their stories. So if you would like to share your story with us, then you can most definitely send us an email, tell us a little bit about yourself, and we get back to you, and you can be a guest here on Living Your Purpose. It could be about financials, it can be spiritual, life challenges, whatever. If you need help, that's what we're here for. So
Definitely.
definitely go to lypshow.com.
There we go.
All
So
right.
once again, procrastination is something that everybody deals with on a daily, but procrastination is also a number one to failure. Okay, because with procrastination, there's no faith, there's no trust in yourself, there's no desire, there's no motivation, because you are holding back from going forward into your life of living your purpose. Because everybody has that. Everybody has some type of journey. There's something that you guys have to do. There's a purpose to your life, and so therefore procrastination is one of the biggest forms of failure is procrastination. So we're trying to beat that challenge, and that's why we're on here talking about how we can counteract procrastination.
Right. So we have a few minutes left, so I'm just going to recap for anybody who may be new to this. So procrastination equals bad. Okay. Let me tell you why. Procrastination creates stress. It makes things pile up that you don't necessarily need to pile up. It can cause you stress in your body, in your brain. It can cause mood swings, and you can be very irritable to people around you, and they don't deserve that. Okay. Ways to avoid procrastination. Well, let me stop. Reasons why we procrastinate is because we may be scared of something. It may be a bit too daunting, and we don't want to know how to quite tackle it all at one time. And so we just don't, instead of doing something a little bit at a time, we just don't do any of it. And then it stares us in the face. Um, so we may be scared about something. We may be unsure how to go about something. We don't want to ask someone for help because we can't humble ourselves for whatever reason. These are certain things that cause us to procrastinate. Ways to avoid procrastination or tackle procrastination is to, one, put it on a list, make your list, schedule it. If you have a deadline for something, push your deadline back, make it earlier, so that people who work best under pressure, some like myself, if you feel like you can work better with a time frame in your face, make your deadline earlier than it has to be done. That way you can get it done, be relieved, and if it's not all the way finished, it's okay. You still have time to finish it. Okay. Secondly, like I said, write it down. Have two lists. Have a to-do list and have a that's done list. All right. Once you have finished a goal, you have completed a task, you take it off your to-do list and put it on your done list. Procrastination is fought by proof of productivity. Once you see what you've done, instead of just crossing a thing off your list and say, I'm done, or I'm not going to do it, you can say, look at what I've done. You see the proof of your work, and that helps to motivate you to do more. Okay. What else did I say? Proof of productivity, to-do lists, calendar, schedule yourself. I think that's pretty much it as far as
Right.
how to, and remember your reasons why. Okay. Oh, here's one more thing. Prioritization. When you prioritize, if you have a lot to do, instead of procrastinating, prioritize. Whatever is the most important, get that done first. Or whatever is the most difficult, get that done first. If you have to break it up, fine, break it up. But get it done first. Once the first thing is done, put it on your done list. The next thing is not priority number 2 or letter B. It is now priority number 1. Do that thing first. Put your energy and your effort into completing that task. When you're done, put it on your done list. The next thing is priority number 1. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yes,
That's
got
it.
it.
So these are just some simple
Absolutely.
things that help us all, because we are all guilty of procrastination. Um,
Right.
if you have questions about this show, comments about this show, tweet it out. hit us up on the Twitters and the Facebook, okay? Living Your Purpose Community on Facebook, LYP Broadcast on Twitter, here, and on Periscope. You want to, use the hashtag. This is really helpful, you guys. Use the hashtag LYP Topics when you're talking about a show or an idea that you have for the show, or if you have a question about the show, because that gets our attention and it helps us to see what people are talking about, what people are most interested in. So if you have questions, tweet us, hashtag LYP Topics. If you just want to say, hey, you guys, great job, do that too. We love it. We love talking to you guys all over the place.
Now, in the emotional and the spiritual side of it, you want to, first of all, make sure that you don't have uncertainty goals. Make sure your goals have a deadline, as she said, okay? Make sure that you get involved and emotionally involved with each goal that you have. Because if you don't have any, if you're not emotionally attached to any of your goals, that means their faith drops, desire drops, everything else that you need for that thing to move forward falls to the wayside. You want to make sure that you have that you have a partner, or try to link up with somebody who sees the potential in you more than you see it in yourself, and you guys can be able to work on the goals that you have at hand to see the bigger picture, because you want to help. This is all about giving. So you also want to make sure that you don't get overwhelmed. Make sure that that list is not something like a chore. This is not work, guys. This is something that you love. Love is not work. Love is not work. So basically, if you love it, then you're going to be able to do it. But once again, you got to at least recognize that you have procrastination within you. Once you acknowledge it, you're halfway there, because then you know that you need to shake it up and you need to move and motivate. But definitely, all goals, do it one at a time, and get emotionally attached to it. Have that burning desire to get it accomplished. Have that faith to get it accomplished. Have that motivation factor, whether it be a friend or partner who believes in you, to get it accomplished. But it has to get accomplished regardless of whether you don't have the full plan out. You may have this a little bit right now, but just whatever it is, get it done. You have to jump in order for you to actually live the life that you want to live. You got to take that jump.
I think that's it, you guys. I think we have said all we have to say on this topic, at least for the sake of YouTube and SoundCloud. We have said all that we are going to say. So again, if you've joined us live, thank you so much. If you're watching this on the replay on YouTube or listening on SoundCloud, we really do appreciate you so much. You have no idea. We have more followers, just a little bragging a little bit, okay? We have more followers every week. We get more and more followers on SoundCloud. We really would like you guys, if you have missed this and you want to see what we've been talking about so far, please do go to our YouTube channel, find it on the website, go to YouTube, watch the stuff, like and subscribe. Last week's episode was so good. We had an amazing interview with a wonderful woman, Katrina Rayford. Please do check that out. Okay.
Definitely.
We are over 200 followers on Twitter now. Hey, we're almost at our goal. We have a goal. I'm not going to tell you the goal, but we're almost at that goal. And we're really excited that we are doing what people want. We are still giving people what they want. We are here for you. And without you guys, we would not be doing what we do. And so
absolutely,
I always say it, if it's 220, 200, 2,000, it doesn't matter. As long as what we're saying means something to you, we're going to keep on going. And that is, that's what it's all about. So next week, I think it's the 14th Sunday, we are here. And then we're going to take a break after that for 1 week, just one. Okay. Don't freak out. Okay. We're going to be off Easter Sunday, spend time with our families and things like that. And then we'll be back. But we will be back next week, 6:00 Eastern time. Same handle at Living Your Purpose. We love you. Thank you so much. Those of you who are here, stick around for a few minutes after the show. We're going to have the After Blab. That's where we kick back, relax, and have a little bit more of a relaxed conversation. So thank you guys so much. As always, I am Danielle K. Anderson.
I'm SJ.
Love you guys. See you next week.
Bye.